Welcome, Psychic Tuesday, and I'm your guide, Bernice Bisson. Well, let's get started because it has been a wild few days in astrology, and this next week we get a bit of a reprieve. We do have some meeting up of Mars and Neptune to maybe advance conspiracy theories, maybe a little advance wishful thinking, visionary kind of work, creative work, dream work, shadow work could all be highlighted for people this next week. But let's get to it. We're going to look at all signs, sun, moon, rising. If you know all three, listen to all three messages for a fuller view of your next 7 to 10 days and the energy surrounding that. Okay, so let's get started with our beautiful Aries. Aries, guard your health, make sure that you get your rest and you get your vitamins and you're able to, don't run yourself down, don't run yourself into the corner. Exhaustion could be on the plate for you, running around, feeling like maybe you're finding that work situations and old situations are just misaligned or not attuned to you. I feel like you're going to have this vibe for a little bit yet. In order for you to get your priorities, getting your want list together, getting your own vision together, getting your own direction together for your reset button in March with your birthday. And so you could have some big resets coming that you're being given lots of time or vision for to prepare for, figure out what you want, where you want to go. I feel like you could look at putting a down payment on or paying off a vacation, putting money on a future plan to travel. I feel like don't make sure you do get your rest. Don't make it a supercharged trip or something where you're running around. Again, exhaustion could be the thing that triggers illness for you. And that you could have strong grandmother energy guiding you. You could get strong signs from a grandmother figure. You could feel those guiding, loving symbols and signs and reminiscence and nostalgia around mother's, grandmother's, great grandmother energy over this next 7 to 10 days. And so I also feel like this is a time of saving money, putting your money, making plans around savings as well for you. All right, Tauruses, sun, moon, rising, Tauruses, the next 7 to 10 days. This is a time that you might find yourself separating yourself from things that don't hold your interest any longer, divorcing, separating, leaving behind, cutting off, severing ties. I feel like this is a time for you to detach and just let go and not be weighed down. Tauruses, they're known to be stubborn, but I would say that they're very strong-willed, and that strength can sometimes make them hold on to things too long, relationships, holding on to beliefs they don't want to give up on people. And I feel like this is a time for you to detach and let people sort themselves out. And you being involved won't make it work out any differently. To disassociate, that you might have some pretty poignant triggers over the next 7 to 10 days. It could be a fragrance, it could be nostalgic, it could be reminiscent, old photos, old places. And I feel like you'll work hard not to let the little things get you down. You could be very much about your health and wellness. You could be very much about your physicality at the moment and getting it in its best order and best shape. And that in order to detach, Taurus, you're going to have to really bring yourself to be quite present for people, for yourself. Don't get too ahead with future planning. Don't get too stuck in the past. Just look at each and every day, just like 12 steps, just one day at a time, one day at a time. Okay, Tauruses, thank you. Gemini, sun, moon, rising. We've got a resurgence of energy, a resurgence of people, opportunities. This is where you might start to feel revived, start to feel like you can get your old self back, start to feel like you're willing to go on, pick up the little bit of energy you have and just keep moving forward. You could abandon things that no longer serve you. You could find that if you are abandoned, no, it's because it wasn't serving you. Don't give up any temptation to uh, live in remorse, regret, or what could have been. This is a time that it's just temptation, wanting to keep you in the past, longing for things. And if you asked yourself what you actually missed about the past, you might find it was very little. That heartache people caused you, I feel like this is a time for you to, move away from the negative and just keep on going. That could be new circles of friends, new ways to communicate, new environments, bringing yourself out there. I feel like it's not the time to prove a point to people or to win an argument. This is a time to go with the flow and to find a place where you're feeling pretty zen like. And don't settle in for any self indulgent habits that could come up for you. You could find yourself stuck to old people that, frankly, have been a bit negative. And that this is a time where you could go and find work really stimulating. And this could be projects, work, whether it's paid employment or volunteer work, group consciousness, cooperating with a team group, or feeling cooperative in an environment. You could find really stimulating for you, really where you shine a little bit, where you're able to contribute and you're able to have some reciprocation in terms of the level of energy you can put in. You're going to find that you could feel quite a bit of a resurgence or a revival through group dynamics. All right, Cancerian, Sun, Moon, Rising. Boy, you little crabs and Capricorns have sure had a bit of a ride with the change in karma. You just had the North Node leave. And changes in karma in terms of new moons and full moons. And we have the full moon showing up in Cancerian, really bringing to light 6 months ago, crabs, around your birthday. What were you wanting to achieve? What were you planning? What was going on? And are you there now? You could find that there are surprises. There are hidden agendas, hidden surprises, hidden gifts, hidden communications that you'll see where loyalty lays for you in your life. You could see that don't adhere to, you might have to go outside the bounds of maybe pay structures. You might have to go outside the bounds of what always has been. This might be a time to think in new ways, new terms, new ways to pay or get paid. And don't settle for too little if you're negotiating anything. Really ask for everything that you would be entitled to. You might find yourself trying to break out of safety. You might be saying, I'm feeling bored, I'm feeling stuck, where what you might really need to do is find areas in your life where you're able to not get too stuck in safe places, or where it just feels safe because it doesn't require any risk from you. There might be a time for you to really think about maybe even places you haven't traveled, new plans you haven't done over the summer coming up. You might be thinking of ways to get out of the box. You're going to find that you'll have to progress is going to come to the next 7 to 10 days, but it's going to require you to stay very focused and very, very loyal to your goals, loyal to what outcomes you have, because I feel like you have a lot to accomplish between now and June. In the next 7 to 10 days, especially with that full moon, we'll highlight that for you. Leos, Sun, Moon, Rising. Hello, Leos. This is a time that you could find yourself insulating yourself from hard truths, insulating yourself from difficult conversations or difficult people, and that rather than deal with them, you might just insulate yourself from them. And that you would have to, if you're finding yourself getting bombarded by ridiculous people, ridiculous conversations, you just have to block, ban, cut off, don't engage in with people. That you could find that people could feel a bit stubborn, not willing to cooperate, feeling like so it's going to be a time for you just to insulate yourself away from them, a time to, as we go into this time, we're in Capricorn going into Aquarius, we are going to find ourselves really kind of stuck in some way. And time to insulate. The sun's furthest away from you right now, and this is the time to to rest and rejuvenate your own energy there, Leos. And you might find it might be nice to kick up your feet for 10 minutes, huh? You never know. Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising. Not for you, though. No time, no rest for the wicked there, Virgos. Time to work, and and yet you could find that where you put your backbone in and you stand up for causes, what you believe in, who you are, and what you have to say, that you could be given a new perspective, that you could find a growth in your integrity, or that people appreciate your integrity in some way. And that you could find doing the extra mile, doing the extra lap with work could pay off in small victories. You can find that there's new ideas, new vision, new excitement building around what could be coming, new energy around the new year, around what could be coming. You just had a shift in karma. You have the south node of karma in your sign, and it's going to be pretty big for you in terms of your career, your reputation, and how you are viewed. And so, remember what you put out there. Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising. Hello, Libra. And so Libras, you could find yourself meeting new people in old places. You could find yourself with the question of partnership, romance, love, uh, showing up for you in nice ways. You could find that there's warmth and energy that comes at you through friends and circles that you know. You could find that maybe, and I don't think this is about people coming back to you from the past. I feel like this is really new energy for you, that you could find you have new love life headed towards you, and or new energy put into your love life, or new flirtations, or new people on your roster. And that I feel like ideas you plant with people could take root, could start to grow, could go in good ways for you this next 7 to 10 days, Libras. I would use that power wisely. Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising. You can find that this is a time for you of rebirth, of transformation. Something you're working on could take off big. Something you've been working on that could be recognized. You could really find something that you're really enjoying, and that old skills you've had are applicable in new ways. And that you could be asked to teach, role model, team lead. You could be asked to contribute your knowledge to something that could be quite good for you. You could find that relationships might pose a bit challenging, requiring you to have some really clear boundaries. You could find that you can rely on yourself at this time, don't put relying to other people at the moment. If it needs to be done, you might really need to look at doing it yourself or having it done yourself. And it's a process that you might be happy to immerse yourself in, is to go deep in the details the next 7 to 10 days. Sagittarian, Sun, Moon, Rising, Sagittarius. This could be a time for you that you have to keep an eye on your money, your credit cards, your spending, who you trust that information with as well. You could also have things at work that are stolen, or that people are, if you're on a job site or something, maybe people are stealing tools, or that you're working with people that you're having difficulty trusting. You might feel a bit divested in work, just kind of thinking, oh, I'd like to be home. I'd like to be home. I have so many things I could do at home, and that's okay. And I feel like just go with the flow at work, try to get as much done as you can. And then once you get home, I feel like you can relax to those obligations. You can really get into getting the home done. You could be really motivated to create your space, recreate your space, or make it beautiful. And so this is going to be really nice energy for you in the next 7 to 10 days there, Sagittarians. Capricorn, boy, oh boy, you guys have sure felt the trigger of Pluto moving from your sign, and really that power and revolution. We saw it here in Canada with our Capricorn Prime Minister resigning. So there's one sort of manifestation for Capricorns. It's pretty big stuff. And that you could be ready to lose stuff. You could be ready to say, you know what, I'm done. I'm ready to move on. I've been in this cycle literally since 2008. I feel like I'm ready to break free. That there could be stuff that felt like a bit of a disillusionment, or you could have been disillusioned with really where your motives laid in things. And that you can find in letting go could rattle other people, but don't let that rattle you. You're going to move forward on your new endeavors and things that are really meaningful for you. And this might be really where you're exploring, is what is meaningful for you. This is a time to shrink a bit, maybe in terms of the energy you're putting out and the communications you're putting out, and really shoring up, moving forward in ways that could be in silence, could be not sharing your goals until you're ready to act on them. You could be just gathering your resources, gathering your energy to make a bigger push come June. But between now and June, you could be gathering your resources for that and working in stealth, which will work the best for you. Aquarian, sun, moon, rising. And just as Capricorn has felt that energy, you could also feel the energy move forward for you as well. This is a time of trust, trusting in the universe, trusting in yourself, trusting, and things that could be put in trust. There could be money, there could be taxes, money, papers, paperwork, things that you got to be on top of that need to be put into trust. I feel like you have lots to be optimistic about over this next 12 months. But this next 7 to 10 days, you can get taste of a few things that both hold you accountable, like paperwork, which I'm sure you don't enjoy, and you could find relief in your finances. You could find relief in what you're doing. You could find there's recourse or things you could have been denied before could come up for reevaluation, and lots of energy to help you move forward with your birthday. That feels pretty exciting. Pisces, sun, moon, rising. Boy, you have Saturn and Neptune finally both going to be going direct. They're going to be headed out of your sign a little bit. You'll get a taste of that this next year where you'll feel the pressure is off, bit of lulls. So if you have narcissists or people that are your dopamine fix, you might be having to deal with them and get rid of people who are really draining your spiritual energy, your emotional energy. And that this is a time where delays could be your friend, where things that have been stalled, you might realize actually turned out to be your benefit as they start to move forward with these direct planets. And this is a time where you could get very focused on restricting your budget, your focus, your time, your commitments, and your extravagance, and that you're really wanting to reform, almost like a butterfly in a chrysalis, wanting to reform over the next month or two and really come out in a new direction with this beautiful new North Node destiny energy, along with half the universe sort of gathering there with Neptune and Saturn. And with your birthday, you'll have Sun and Mercury sort of joining all that grand energy. That's quite good for you. And so I feel like really coming into your own, and this, you could be given signs about that over the next 7 to 10 days. And thank you. And you can find me at bernicebissonpsychic.com. And if you like a full reading, I do video reading and I read in person. And you can book that through my website, or you can visit me here every Tuesday on A1R Psychic Radio and Moonstruck Television. Now let's get to it. I've got Corinne in Winnipeg, my stomping grounds. Corinne, how can I be of service to you?
Well, I'd like to know what is ahead of me, seeing that this year is pretty rough.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that for you, my friend. Okay, well, we're going to raise that vibration and raise that beautiful energy of yours. Now, do you mind just sharing the day and month of your birthday?
No, not at all. April 29th.
Oh, well, Taurus. Well, okay. Well, here's some good news for you, April 29th. I'm not surprised this last year was a bit of a challenge. Right up until you're not quite out of the woods yet, your birthday coming is a big reset button for you. It's like getting your groove back, because I think more than anything, where there could have been financial and health hits and losses around you, I feel like this is also going to be a time where you're going to finally get your juju back, which means that you could finally get maybe the right doctor, you could finally get the right medication, you could finally get the right timing or opportunity. Now, the last 7 years, you've had the planet Uranus in your sign, which has not been helpful. It has kind of kicked out the legs from under you a couple of times. And 2023, 24 was no exception. 24, there was a major, major conjunction with the planet Uranus in your sign, which wasn't helpful to you, and with Saturn around structures, mobility, including financial mobilities and losses, and that could be people exiting your life. So finding yourself kind of at a bit of a ground zero, you're almost there, particularly with your birthday as you move forward. You will find room for new energy, new people, new situations, and answers to things that you might have been held up for a while. And I mean, COVID and all of that horrible time we all went through in lockdown might have delayed or pushed a lot of things back for you, that now I feel like you're finally going to be able to move forward. I know it sounds funny to bring up like 4 years ago, but you're finally leaving this energy. and that you have a couple of decisions to make around where you live, around where housing, home. You have a young man spirit. There's lots of deceased people. I know. I understand that. But Corinne, you have this male, this man who passed, who seems to show up really strongly around you, almost like he can come in as a guiding light. And he may have been gone for a while. And I want to say, and a couple of things. One is that in the next 2 months, there is something very much where you are, February could even feel like a bit of a challenge around the February 18th. And I feel like once you get past that energy, you're able to pick yourself up again. And that there is some decisions you're going to make around house, home, where you live. And I feel like you have a woman who might be talking you into or be very helpful around money, where you live, where you're moving, if you haven't recently moved. So there hasn't been a recent one in the last year. I feel like there's something brewing for you, that's going to require a decision. And I'm going to say no later than your birthday in 26. So this birthday in 2025 is a big reset. I feel like anything around a move for you would really come up in a way around stability, health. Like where you move, you live for a while. Like this is where you move is kind of like stabilizing, or that you would wind up staying for a while. That there is something in terms of you getting back some health or regaining your health. That I do think that you might have something that you have to deal with in terms of your circulatory system, your mobility, but I think more so a heart chakra area, and that you would get very motivated in terms of your wellness. Like you would be, no, you're going to say, that's it. I'm working on it. I'm going to move forward with my health. I'm able to do this therapies, this treatment, where I'm starting to feel better, because your goal over this next 12 months, even this next 7 months, come summertime, very much so, is to feel better, is to physically get in a better space. And I feel like there's a mother and a son figure in spirit that I don't know, it just shows up in
that passed over. Is that what you're talking about? The passed over?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, I had a mother pass over, but not a son.
There's a young man who died. I'm going to kind of stick to, he's already gone because I'm not predicting any of that, but a younger man that died that seems to keep showing up. I'll leave it for now. But there's something around your own health issues that you would address that maybe your mom might have struggled with as well. But there's something that you're going to head off at the pass or be able to work with or deal with. There is maybe some difficult news that comes through, and you're going to have to finalize some papers. That can include legal papers, financial papers, or documents. I feel like they're going to, if you haven't received them recently, they seem to be showing up within the next 2 months, 3 months, these documents. And I feel like you would have to deal with them. You would have to organize some finances or some money, and that could be on behalf of other people, or having to respond to it. Like they could be coming to you saying, oh, I need help again, or I need help. And I feel like there's some really, for you to be happy, or for you to, I feel like you're going to have to, you might say some hard no's to a couple people.
Well, I've been doing that already. Never mind in the future. Bernice, when you say a young man, how young are we talking?
45, 50.
Oh, okay. Okay. Nothing younger than that.
I'm sorry?
Okay. I was asking nothing younger than 40.
Yeah, no, about 45, 50. not an old guy.
Okay.
Just you have these two energies that show up really strong with you. I feel like this next year is going to be your first year to be able to step forward from what, because I feel like you would have had a whole series of exits, and there's a happy resolve. I did want to say these papers that are coming, or that you're gonna. I feel like the papers involve a process, and anything that felt delayed or that the papers are coming back up actually work to your favor. I do see you signing them. I feel like you would need a witness to sign them, so it does feel like they're formal legal kind of papers, and that there's something you're very much resolving. There could be a woman who needs you near her, needs you by her side. She needs you to help her. I feel like she could, you could be helping her recover. You could be helping her through difficult periods. You could be helping her through things. And so that shows up really strong as well, even in the next, I think the month of May shows up really strong. This could be a female friend, a woman, like a sister, female friend.
Okay.
That you're right there for her. You're helping her recover, maybe from a procedure, or so you seem to be around that. I do see you off work, and I don't know if you have periods of time that you get off work. I
I'm
feel
totally
like
off work. I'm retired.
okay, perfect. I see you off work. So the woman that you would be helping could be more personal than work. Okay.
Okay.
And I feel like she's a close friend, and I don't know. I feel like somebody wants you or is going to talk to you about traveling down south. And I'm like, not yet. No, I'm getting a not yet. And so
I
I'm
don't
getting a
think
not
so,
yet.
because you're spot on with mobility. Right now, I have problems with legs, and so yes, and you're right about that. I've been thinking, that's it. I have to get into shape.
And you will. And I feel like they're an athletic therapist, or you'd be working with somebody who could help you move the muscles, rebuild the muscle, and really get your mobility and circulation back going. And I feel like you're going to really take that power back this year in a big way, my friend.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, my beautiful lady, and thank you for getting through to A1R Psychic Radio. And my name is Bernice, and I invite everyone back next Tuesday for Psychic Tuesday. We'll see you then.